Hi everybody, this is John, and we are about a month out now from the release of my book, There's Treasure Inside. And I wanted to take a minute to thank the thousands of you who have pre-ordered my book, and especially those of you who have sent messages talking about how excited you are about this treasure hunt. And I also wanted to take a moment to address a couple of common questions that I've received before the release of the book. The first topic that comes up a lot, I've gotten this question from a lot of people in the media as well as a lot of you, really centers around, why did I create this treasure hunt? Why did I spend years buying and securing rare and valuable objects only to go out and hide them all across the country for someone else to find? And it's a great question. And I think it's a question basically, it's better understood if you have better information about myself and my background. And so I want to share some of that with you. You have to understand, I was raised in North Carolina. My father was a pastor of a small church there. In fact, the house that I spent a lot of my childhood in, he built with his bare hands. Our family didn't have much money at all. We certainly didn't have fancy things. We never thought about wealth or social status. And in our family, you weren't just encouraged to volunteer your time and money, it was required. And I think a lot of those values stuck with me. Now, I don't want to give the impression that when I left home that I didn't want to make money. I certainly did want to improve my financial situation. It's why I became an entrepreneur. But I think it's important to understand I was never motivated by getting possessions. I was really interested in experiences. I wanted to be able to travel. I wanted to be able to go on adventures. I wanted to be able to learn about other cultures. I wanted to be able to really just to create memories, and I also wanted to be an artist. So I spent a lot of time building businesses. Most of them failed, but some of them did not. In fact, in the late 2000s, I had a number of successful websites that offered free career information. They were very popular, and I sold those. And then in 2013, I invested a lot of my savings into Bitcoin. And add to that, my wife had started a very successful and award-winning tech recruiting firm in San Diego. And by the time 2020 rolled around and we were in COVID lockdowns, I was in a really unique situation. One where I had the time, I had the motivation and desire, and I also had the financial resources to create something really unique and special. So when people ask me why I created this treasure hunt, what I really think it boils down to is that I want to create joy for myself, and I want to share that with others. And every aspect of this treasure hunt has been joyous to me, whether it was finding the treasure items and acquiring them, whether it was researching the items, whether it was hiding the boxes, whether it was writing the book. Every aspect of it has been incredibly joyful. And the most exciting thing now is I get to share that with all of you. Now, speaking of adventure, one of the other topics I get a lot of questions about is safety. And I think those questions are very smart. In fact, I wrote a whole section of my book, a postscript, that talks about safety tips that I suggest for anyone who's going to search for our treasure. So in my opinion, none of the boxes are dangerous to get to, but I do understand that the term dangerous is subjective. So let's just talk a little bit more specifically about what I mean. First of all, none of the boxes are hidden on or across any private property. Secondly, you don't need to wander so far from a public trail that you're going to get lost. You'll never need to wade through high water. You don't need a boat, and you don't need any kind of specialized equipment either. And if you walk in a direct path from where you parked, none of the boxes should take you more than a couple hours to reach, and most of them a lot less than that. Now, who shouldn't go on this treasure hunt? Well, I'd say if your doctor has said that you have a condition that exercise can make dangerous, then you shouldn't go on this adventure. If you have trouble, you have a lot of pain, or it's very difficult for you to walk more than a couple miles, you probably don't want to go on this adventure. And I would also personally recommend not taking any young kids, because in my experience, young kids make any excursion potentially more dangerous. Now, some of the boxes can be gotten to more leisurely. A couple might be a slight workout if you're well out of shape, but there's no reason anyone should get injured and they aren't in a dangerous spot. You should always follow a couple of basic rules no matter what you're doing outside. Take plenty of water wherever you go. Make sure that you search in good weather. And I always recommend it's a good idea to bring some with you. I think it's more fun that way and it's definitely safer. So those are the topics I wanted to cover today. I hope you found this video useful. Honestly, I wasn't planning on doing videos like this, but because of how many people have already pre-ordered the book, how many people have been asking me questions, I really wanted to take the time to get this information out there. So I hope it was helpful. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.